So I'm here with Kasey Bella Suarez, the co-lead of this very interesting and entertaining movie called Notice to Quit. Two-part question for you just right off the bat. 3 years ago, what type of emotions were you feeling when you learned that you got the role? Do you remember that day and what was that moment like for you?
Well, that day, we got the phone call from my agent, and I was with my family. I didn't even expect it at all. And they were like, "Oh, well, you booked the role, and like, congratulations!" And it was my first lead role or like movie or anything. And I think the first thing I looked to my left, and my dad's just like bawling. I think that's the most I've ever seen my dad cry. And I was so excited. Like, I don't know, I had like so much emotions like coming.
Okay, your dad, obviously, you're the most important person, unconditional love. He loves you. He's bawling. Why are you not bawling on that? Were you bawling?
I think when I'm like in shock, I just like my face just like drops and my emotions are very delayed. So I think my emotions like come out after everybody else's. So I see my parents and they're crying, my brother's crying, and then it just hit me. Like I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be in a movie. I'm gonna be in a movie." And I was so excited. And then obviously I started crying.
It's not just a movie, it's a very good movie as well. So that's a very good thing. Now, the second part of that question is September 27th, it hits theaters. We're not even talking about streaming or digital, and I love those platforms, but what's that feeling like to know that maybe 3 years later it's coming out into theaters? And will you be at your local theater on opening day?
Yes, as soon as it comes out, we're going to be in those theater doors. We're going to be so excited. And the fact that it's coming out nationwide, we're just like the whole team's excited. My family's so excited. And if we could, we would travel to every single theater and watch the movie over and over again because it's just that good.
The one thing I really loved about your character is Anna is she has a lot of patience with her dad, and he's going through a lot of stuff. He is a lot of times he's very selfish, but I think she sees through that of the person he could be, and she realizes deep down that I have a pretty good dad who loves me. I mean, how did you tap into those emotions, and was that great playing those emotions with your character?
Well, definitely like reading the characters' like perspective on everything. I could tell that she loves her dad. I think her dad's her main priority. Knowing that she's moving to Florida with her mom, the first thing she wanted to do was visit her dad. And she's always been patient with her dad since she knows her dad very well. And I think it doesn't really matter, however, how her dad like acts towards her. It's just the fact that she's spending time with her dad that's like really special with her. Like I think that's something that's like carries with her. And I think that was very easy to carry with me since I love my dad. And Michael was like a dad to me on set. And it was just very easy. Like we connected very well. So that connection was definitely there.
On connection, I'm assuming New York is your hometown, so I have a couple of, as a West Coaster who I've only been to New York several times, so please educate me on a couple of things. First off, without giving the scene away, was that a real cockroach? Because that scared me. Can you just talk about that scene without giving too much away? Was it real? So,
The cockroach wasn't real because I'm very deeply scared of bugs. So it was like a green screen cockroach just like crawling. And I just had to pretend that I was just seeing something. I was like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh." And it was just funny being frightened at nothing.
thank goodness. Second part of that question is how valuable are AC units in New York, no matter what location you're in or what borough you live? It seems like a reality that AC units are very hard to come by. And I tried to install an AC unit and something happened to me kind of like that in the movie as well. Can you speak to that? How important are they? So
Definitely putting an AC unit is very difficult. I mean, I could never do it. I'm just a 14-year-old girl. I'm not that strong. But yeah, no, it's very important to have in your New York apartment, especially when it gets hot all the time in the summer. So I think just like selling those houses and everything was very, very important to have in the apartments with the AC units. And I think that's why he was stealing them.
there's a couple of times when I think, if I recall, your character was mentioning, Anna was mentioning how hot she was. Was it really hot shooting in New York? Probably a dumb question because it seemed hot. I'm sure it was hot. How did you and the cast and crew get through that shooting on the streets with all that heat on you? Assumedly so, I think.
It was very hot. Yes, the New York weather is just humid and wet and sticky everywhere. But at some point when the season started to like get to fall and it was like getting cold because we did shoot in the summer, they had to start spraying like glycerin on me, which made my like face all sticky and stuff. And it was really gross, but it definitely gave off the effect of sweat. So at least people watching the movie can know that it was summer.
You know, Casey, not many actors ever get the chance to even star in a movie with a lead role. So I'm assuming with your journey in this movie several years back, you learned a lot as an actor. Looking back, what are some of the most valuable lessons that you took from that project that you can move forward with your career as far as insights and learning lessons?
I think I wish I'd known like from the beginning that I can definitely contribute to each scene what I think is the best choice or option to do in this line or the next line or in the next scene or in this scene. And I think I wish I'd known that because I think I could have had more input in every scene. And just like looking at Michael doing that, and he was changing his lines because he thought this would be better, and it was better, and it made it more natural. Um, I didn't learn that since like midway through the movie, and I think it just made the movie way better and just like putting myself into that character, like changing those lines, like each little detail could really help. Like just putting your input in every scene, in every movie, just talking to the director what could be better, was definitely helpful. So that's something I would have changed.
Well, that's really interesting because it's been 3 years. You've grown since then as a person, as an actor. So that said, how satisfied are you with the overall movie? Because you talk about your parents and family crying. I'm sure they saw some kind of cut of the movie. How pleased were you, and how great was it to see your family just revel in the joy of your performance and the movie as well?
I thought, like, first seeing it, I was like, oh my gosh, I was so little. And I didn't, like, I kind of expected myself to, like, be a little, like, cringy-ish because I was so young and I didn't really know that much. But, like, just seeing that it was, like, my first lead role in the movie, I was actually really proud of myself because the way I just, like, carried myself throughout the movie, it was really nice. And my parents saw that too, and they were really proud of me. And yeah.
Yeah, and so now, where do you see yourself as an actor? Is this your number one dream moving forward? And you're older now, you're more mature. Where do you see acting as far as your priorities in life go?
Well, acting has always been my number one. As a kid, I've always wanted to be like, oh, I want to be on that screen. I want to be on that billboard. I want to be in everywhere. I want to see my face everywhere. And just seeing myself like in this one movie on the big screen, it just means so much. I think like as like a little child, I've always just wanted to like see myself. Like in videos, I would like talk to myself in front of the mirror, like, and I would just vlog myself for like 3 hours just talking. I had so much to talk about. And just seeing me talking on a bigger screen instead of like my iPad or my phone, it means so much to me. And definitely moving forward, that's all I really want to do, just focusing myself on acting. And yeah, it just really makes me happy. Like, not even just seeing myself on screen, just getting to know more people. And acting has really helped me, like, open myself up to talking more. And it's just helped me with everything, really. Yeah.
Look, for people not in the know regarding acting, is doing big emotional scenes where your character is vulnerable and just at her barest moment, was that scene hard? Were those scenes hard to do, or are they a lot easier to do than some people would think because you get to really show your emotions? Is it complex or a lot more simple than people who don't know about acting think? So,
I think for a lot of people, it can be very easy, but for me, it was very difficult trying to like connect myself to that character, like her, like you said, the most vulnerable moments, and like her crying to her dad, or crying about her dad, or crying about moving to Florida. It's just all those moments kind of piece together why she was broken in the first place about moving to Florida. So for me, it was easy trying to get to that place, but just like it was kind of difficult, like portraying those emotions. Yes.
okay, so final couple of questions. Just right off the top of your head, can you name one of your all-time favorite movies, and what is it about this specific movie that is very special to you?
My favorite movie. I Okay, I have like a few cartoon movies. I think my all-time favorite and a lot of kids' favorites is Rapunzel. I think it just like healed my inner child. But as like a real movie, I would say Little Woman. That was my favorite movie ever. I mean, it just really like it portrayed romance and just all the characters in that movie were just so amazing. And I keep rewatching that over and over with my mom. We love that movie so much.
Casey, final couple of things. Just on a selfish note, my niece, who I love dearly, she's only 8. So can you tell me what is it about Rapunzel that healed you? Because I definitely will take that recommendation and we're going to watch it together. What is it so special about that? So thank you.
Well, when I was, of course, when I was little, I had the longest hair ever, like down to my ankles. Well, I'm probably over exaggerating, but I was like, oh my gosh, I look exactly like Rapunzel. And I didn't. I would rewatch that movie over and over again. And I had like the little lizard plushie on my like shoulder and everything just to be like her. And just her as a character, she's so funny, so honest. And I love everything about her. I think every kid loves Rapunzel. Like, who doesn't love Rapunzel?
Okay, and now final question on your IG. I think you mentioned on one of your posts that Meryl Streep is the GOAT. I'm not going to argue that she is the GOAT, but where do you see yourself 5, 10 years from now? Do you see yourself down this acting path? And it's a tough business, but you're off to a great start. What is it about acting that will you think that will keep you moving forward 5, 10 years down the road?
Well, I definitely keep to my word. Meryl Streep is the GOAT, but definitely down the road, I hope to see myself pursuing acting, and I think acting has just always been a part of my life. Like I've always loved putting myself in different characters and putting myself in different moods and everything. Like even if it's really hard to do acting, I love it. Like I feel like it's something that just like comes to me very easily and it comes to a lot of people very easily. And just taking classes, I feel so happy, like improv and drama and comedy and all those type of things. Like all those come together and just make me happy. Like they make me me. So definitely down the road, I hope to be keep doing acting.
And very quickly, is there a secret unlock as an actor where you're working with a cast and crew and you have to hit your mark and you're acting? And is there a way you can actually just tune out all the people looking at you and calm your nerves down? How are you able to do it? How are you able to do that in the movie? And how are you able to do it now, 3 years later?
Well, in the beginning of the movie, since I was like 10 years old or 11 years old, I was very nervous about that. I was like, how am I going to cry in front of all these people? How am I going to yell in front of all these people? And it was definitely a big thing for me that I was so nervous about. But I think the more you get to know those people, the more comfortable you get. And I think just the more connected you are in the scene, you just forget about everything that's around you. You're just like even if you forget your lines, that's how you know you're really in the scene. Your emotions are really like coming to you. You're connected in the character. Even if you stay in character and you forget your lines, it's okay because you're connected in the scene. And I think that was just very important to me. And that's what I always did. Like I always just stayed grounded. I stayed throughout my character and on and offset because it just helped with everything. And connecting with all those people, it made me so comfortable that I just like forgot that they were there. And I just yeah, I made eye contact with him. And Michael, he was so amazing because he knew I was so young. And he really helped me with my lines. And he was like, just forget. Like if you can't cry right now because of all these people watching, it's okay. It's okay. You're such a good actor. Like you can do this and you can do that. I believe in you. And I think that's what helped me a lot. Like just having such a good environment and like such good people around me that just made me feel so supported. And that's, I think, what helped made the movie really great.
Right. Notice to Quit hits theaters September 27th. Kasey Bella Suarez. Excellent performance. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.